Welcome back to the channel. Today we're taking this cold weather day, we're going to take advantage of it and get some shop organization done. Usually I do about an 80-20 mix when it comes to projects, and then 80% of the time I'm spending it on project, invention ideas, workplace improvement, and the other 20 I try to spend on shop improvement, workflow, and efficiency. So that's the door I just came in. When you first walk in, I have some jumper cables, a 220 volt extension cord, my jackets, my work apron, and this is just my hobby shop here at my house in my garage. You can see I'm a firm believer of hanging everything up on the walls or having all your tools being very accessible and visible. I believe that tools go into drawers to die, so I'm trying to find a spot for everything. It is this corner, I need to find a solution for storing my project metal. So if anyone out there has an idea, I'd like to keep it inside to prevent rust. I started hanging some angle up on the ceiling, and as we go around here, you'll kind of see how I have my hobby maker shop set up. It's got my own personal feel to it. Now, as I explore the realm of YouTube, I realize there's a lot of people out there like me, and I get a lot of ideas from other YouTubers. So today's project is with this cart. My welding cart can move around the shop floor, but what I found is this table is too small for like prep work with my angle grinder. I never have a spot for all those things, my discs, my grinding wheels, wire wheels, things of that sort. So I got this cart a couple years ago from my sister. She was cleaning out her barn and it was in the corner. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all my welding tools and my angle grinder accessories and try to add them to this cart. That way when I'm working, I can easily access my my angle grinder stuff. So one cool thing I did see, where's my Makita? Ah, there it is. Alright, so what I like about this cart, let me get this cord untangled here one-handed. Once I add some weight to this thing, the angle grinder will store right there. Right? So that's going to be cool. Let's say I'm working at the vise, I can just set it right there and it's within hand's reach. So I'll show you what we got going on. I'm just kind of going to build it and film, and any important steps I'll try to share. Alright, what I've decided to do is lay everything out that I want to store on that mobile angle grinder cart storage system. So I laid out the three discs that I mainly use: a cutoff, a flap wheel, and a grinding disc. So those are the three main ones I use. I have two angle grinders. That way I can have two different types of discs on at the same time. I'd like to add a vise somehow to this. I might have to add some weight to the bottom of that to be able to do that. Really, I don't need a vise on the cart for heavy items. Usually I put them on that vise there. But it's nice to be able to vise something small, especially if you have like a piece of rod or rebar that you could vise to that and cut separate. So I'll take you along as I find a solution for each item. The first items will be these discs. Now I use magnets and I use Velcro a lot. You should definitely add those two things to your workshop. They come in handy all the time. So I went to Harbor Freight and I got this magnet strip. It's supposed to hold up to, I can't remember the exact weight, but it'll do for what I want it for. So I'm going to put this here on the side. And that's pretty solid. Then I went and got these hooks at Harbor Freight as well, which has a threaded hook, which is pretty cool. And you can just put them on here. They're not going to hold much weight, so we'll go cut off this. .60 grit abrasive wheel, and then a heavy duty grinding disc. We'll move these around a little bit. And then the most lost item in my shop, the angle grinder tool, we'll store right here, up out of the way. Alright, the next item is going to be this wire basket I have with some more attachments for the angle grinder. We're going to put that in here. See how it fits. And then we'll see which one. I'll probably put the one I don't use the most in there. Cool. Now I'll show you how I'm going to fasten that to this, since it's wire. You see how I could put a bolt through the bottom of that, and then, you know, in a couple places fasten that to the other wire cage. The reason I'm fastening this basket to the other basket is ultimately my plan, I guess, is if I ever have to go anywhere and do some welding, I can literally pick this up and put it in the back of my truck and have all my supplies right here. And all I would have to do was, you know, grab my welder. So this will keep it from vibrating around if I ever have to do that. I'm using 2 wrenches because I didn't feel like digging out my sockets. It's another storage solution problem I have to solve. But I don't gotta kill it. I'll show you. Alright, the next item, I want to add a little workstation table and this clamp-on vise. Like I said, I'm not going to be doing that much wrenching on that vise. It's just going to be able to be there to hold stock as I make cuts in it. And I don't want to have to weld on this cart. I like to build things that have functions that are removable. So if I have a purpose for this cart in the future, it can serve its original purpose. I had this big Colombian vise that I got at a yard sale, but I think that's going to be too heavy. So I have this clamp-on one that should do the job, because I thought about adding some weight, like I said, and using that other vise. You could probably cut some plate steel, some real thick plate steel, and set in the bottom of that basket, which I do have actually. Alright, I'll give you guys an update on the tabletop, how I did that. I used the same concept that I used here. I took 2 L brackets and sandwiched them with some big washers. Underneath, there's 2 holes on that L bracket, I don't know if you can see them, that I'll screw up from the bottom. Now I didn't have a long extension for my drill, so I had to make little pockets for my drill to sit in there. So I'll have 4 screws from the bottom, and here I had to add a spacer, a piece of flat bar I had laying around, to level this. And I C-clamped that to give it some extra rigidity, and she should be strong enough for what I want to do. And then that acts as storage for the C-clamps too. So we'll see. I'll get everything thrown on here, and then I'll give you a complete walk around and update. Alright, that turned out pretty good. I like the end result. Now all my angle grinder accessories and most of my welding accessories are all in this cart. The bottom I have my tool bag with some clamps and my welding gloves. I did put 2 AR 400 steel plates on the bottom there to give it some more weight, act as a counterbalance. The angle grinder discs are right there on the hooks with my tool. I found a spot for my welding magnets. Inside the cart here we have some more clamps, wire brushes, ball peen hammer, the other angle grinder, the other discs, my magnetic levels on that side with that angle grinder. This table's pretty solid. We'll see how she holds up. I like the height because when I'm cutting rod or rebar, I like to really be over my work and see my lines and my measurements. So preference, I guess. But yeah, it turned out pretty good. I've had this vision for about a year and finally had time to put it to action. So if you enjoy this content, please subscribe, leave a comment. I'd love to hear what you think, and share with your friends. Thanks for watching.